The phone Samsung should be afraid of is almost here, and I think they are worried about it sincerely because if you take a look at the leaks, it looks like Samsung is finally going to release a FE version, like a budget version of their flip phone, the Z Flip, whenever it comes out this summer. So this phone right here, this is the Motorola RAZR Plus 2024, and it's one of my favorite phones of last year. I loved the RAZR Plus whenever it came out in 2023. Of course, I loved the RAZR 2024 and the Plus. The 2025 version looks like it's going to be here even earlier this year, and it reminds me of this wonderful show, if you've been watching it, called Cobra Kai. And, you know, of course, the slogan for Cobra Kai is strike hard, strike fast, no mercy. And I feel like that's what Razer's been doing for the last year or two. And if they go ahead and if this lines up with the rumors and the things I'm hearing, if they launch it in April, that's going to be a couple of months before Samsung, not just like a month before, because I believe they launched the RAZR Plus. I believe they launched it in like June or July last year. It was a couple of weeks before the Z Flip, but it wasn't months before. And the RAZR has gotten resounding applause. It's been really one of the phones out there that's gotten a lot of applause, a lot of positive feedback, and people like this phone and they love having the big screen on the front. Motorola has nailed the operating system experience, they've nailed the front screen experience, and they're beating Samsung at their own game. And they've also got the two different models, and of course they're much cheaper, right? As of late, you've been able to get the RAZR Plus for $699 a lot of places, and I've seen a lot of places where the RAZR 2024 has been on sale for $499, or you can get it like $100 or $199 with certain carriers and things like that. So not only is Motorola already beating Samsung when it comes to the experience, when it comes to, I think the phone looks better too. I really do think that it looks better. They've got all the great colors. They came out with the the Razer pink color this last go around, and they've done a really good job at having two different offerings that have great flagship level performance, have pretty good cameras, have a good have a good experience, and they really hammer in using the front screen and making the front screen experience the best that it can be. So all that stuff, plus launching earlier, plus they're already really picking up a lot of sales in this department, it's made Samsung pivot their game plan. They've just had the regular Z Flip for so long, they haven't made a lot of changes to it, and I think one of the big changes we're expecting with the Z Flip 7 this year from the images we can see is that the screen is going to go all the way around. It's not going to stop and have that little cutout around the camera. That's going to be reserved for the Z Flip 7 FE or whatever we're going to call it. And then the regular one looks like it's going to copy the screen design with the RAZR, well, the RAZR Plus anyway. So what I'm expecting to see, we should get a RAZR Plus 2025, we should get a RAZR 2025, and they're going to come out several months likely before the Z Flip, unless Samsung does something crazy and they push up the date too, which they've kind of been doing that. Their flips and their fold phones came out about the same time last year as the year previous, but it seems like all these companies keep getting a little earlier with their stuff, and they want to go ahead and push these out the door. Maybe this right here makes Samsung launch theirs a little bit earlier too, but with all of the problems that Samsung has been having with One UI 7, it's just now finally in about a week going to get pushed out to the Z Fold 6, the Z Flip 6, and the S24 series phones. They're having a little bit of a rough patch with their software stuff, getting that out in a timely manner. But the guys over at Motorola, they've done a good job with the phone. They've done a great job with the design. And of course, I love this. I can't remember what color it is. It's like this mocha coffee bean color. There was a special edition that came out, and whoop, almost dropped it. I really love this thing. But I was just thinking about it. One, Samsung's got to be worried about this because this is definitely cutting into their sales. And if it comes out even earlier, and if they've got some attractive deals, some good trade-in stuff, some good specials, if they get these, maybe a decent carrier deal, then I think it's going to impact the landscape when it comes to flip phones and eat into some more market share that Samsung has. And that's going to be a great thing for Motorola. And also it's a good thing for competition. Whenever the Z Flip first came out, everybody was like, they were the guys. Like, they were the phone to beat. In the flip phone department, they were the first ones that really came out with one and legitimized it. And for the Z Flip, Z Flip 2, Z Flip 3, the Z Flip 5G, it wasn't called the Z Flip 2, the Z Flip 3, Z Flip 4, they were kind of the only ones. They were the heir apparent. They were the flip phone to get, and they were pretty much the only ones you could get, and they were doing a great job with them. And it's kind of stagnated a little bit over the last couple of years, and that's allowed Motorola to come in with their nostalgia, with their history, with their fan base, with their name recognition, and just bringing a good experience and having a competitive price point and having a very competitive phone. and bringing it out and just kind of marketing it more a consumer lifestyle. A lot of different colors for people to choose from, whether you like the pink colors, whether you like the black colors. They even have that two-tone color that has like the suede and the regular leather on the back of it. And I love this vegan leather back that they have on them. It's nice, it's smooth, it holds up pretty well, and it just really makes the phone feel premium. And on top of that, like I said, you get the best front screen experience with this. You don't have to download any extra stuff. You don't have to go in the settings and enable stuff. It's right there. It's so easy, and you can use basically any app you want on the front screen without any hassle, without any problems. And they really nail it. They're like, okay, if we're going to have a front screen on here, we're going to make it as easy and intuitive for people to use as possible. And I think that's one area where Samsung has kind of missed the mark. It's like, okay, we've got this front screen, but we're just not really using it. And that was a frustration I had for a while, because I'm like, what's the point of having a front screen if you can't do anything with it? And if you can't do anything with it, you got to go into the settings. You only have like 4 or 5 apps that are supported. You got to download Good Lock. You got to set that up. You got to do it's like all these crazy things. And I made a video about it the last 2 years showing people how to do it, because it's not intuitive. It's not something people just natively going to go, oh, I need to go ahead and do this. This is what I can do. People just use it at face value, and there's probably a million people out there with the Z Flip phone that don't even realize that you can put all those apps and do all those things on your front screen. So, I like what Motorola is doing. I think they've done a great job. I've been a huge fan of their phones the last couple of years. They've been doing a lot of great jobs. And the flip phone, I'd like to see a foldable, not a fold, a big folding phone, like one of the book style ones. Not just a flip. I'd like to see a larger one that could compete with the Z Fold. I think that would be cool. We see that OnePlus, they didn't bring out an Open 2. They said they're not making an Open 2 this year. So that leaves the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, and that leaves the Pixel foldable phone. So we're kind of one short this year, one light in that department. I'd really like to see Motorola do something like that too, and maybe they could compete in that department, because competition is king. For everyone sitting back going, oh, the iPhone, they just do the same thing every year. For people sitting back going, oh, Samsung, they just do the same thing every year. The best way to drive innovation and to get better quality products and to see bigger and better upgrades is competition. Competition is what does that, because if one phone comes out and they offer XYZ and they do it better and they do it faster, they do it cheaper, then that's going to spur the other guys to go, hey, we got to do that too. And that's exactly what we're seeing now with Samsung. With the fact that they're coming out with an FE model. They know that they've got to sell a cheaper one. Why? Because when you look at Motorola, you can pick up theirs for $499. You can pick up the Plus for $699. You don't have to pay $1,000 for the phone, and that's the only option. So we already see that Motorola is shaping the landscape and making it more competitive in that place. We see that now Samsung is responding to that. We're going to get an FE from them. So now we're going to have 2 phones from Samsung to compete with the 2 phones from Motorola. So that's better for the consumer. That's better whenever it comes to competition, and it forces change. So that's why I really wanted to see more from the foldable phone market here in the US. If you take a look elsewhere, they have some amazing phones. I really love this one. The Oppo Find N5. This is like a breath of fresh air. It is like reinvigorated my interest in these folding phones, because I do like the Z Fold 6. I think it's a great phone. It's very polished, very refined. Best software experience you can get out there. But this is just a gem. Like, this is a beautiful phone. Big, beautiful front screen on here. It's got some nice cameras. It's super insanely thin. Like, look how thin this is. Like, look how thin this is. This is a foldable phone. It's got a much more minimal crease than Samsung. It's got a super thin body. It's got a bigger battery than the Z Fold. So outside of the US, there's a lot more competition. You look at Oppo, you look at Vivo, you look at Huawei, you look at all these other different companies. In the US, it's kind of stifled. Like, there's really kind of rallied around just a few brands. So I've been really happy to see Motorola challenging a lot of brands, especially Samsung, in different areas. And the fact that they're bringing such a good flip phone experience in such a competitive market, and then making it more competitive, that's a win-win. That's a win-win for everybody. I hope that we do get to see it in the next couple of weeks, maybe in April. That would be fantastic. And it'll be interesting to see how that pushes the market even more. Because there's also been rumors maybe we might see something like this from Pixel at some point in time. There's more rumors abounding that there might be an Apple flip phone coming at some point in time. So I think foldables and flippables are here to stay. And I think that some companies like Samsung and like Motorola are doing some really, really good stuff. So that's all I got. Any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you think about the flip phones. What do you have to say about the Motorola RAZR? Do you think it's a better alternative? Do you think they're doing better things than Samsung? Let me know what you think. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.